And here we go. We're off again to the races. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 21st, and I am Kenny Polcari, your host of the party. And so what do we have going on? Everything you need to know. Earnings continue to surprise to the upside, and investors are just pleased. They just can't get enough of these better than expected earnings. 10-year treasuries now yielding 1.64%, and investors are unfazed. Holy crypto Batman! Bitcoin pierces 66,000 and Ethereum kisses 4,300. And what do we have for dinner tonight? Well, it's not your mother's minestrone, but it is delicious. Well, look, stocks blasted higher yesterday, right? Concerns over supply chain issues no longer a problem. Concerns about rising prices across the whole spectrum, no longer an issue. Concerns about the Fed tapering, don't be ridiculous, not an issue. Concerns about rising interest rates are apparently no longer a problem. Investors couldn't get enough of stocks. Earnings continue to surprise to the upside. Guidance is good. Companies telling us that while they're getting hit with higher input costs, they're passing those costs on to guess who? You and me, the consumer. And consumers are apparently all in. No one's even pushing back. It's a Goldilocks scenario. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right, apparently. Everybody thinks it's just right. 10-year yields closed the day yesterday yielding 1.64%, and that's also apparently not an issue, right? We're back to levels seen last March before they spiked to 1.77%, which was a problem then. Recall that as the yield spiked to 1.77, the S&P fell by about 5%, as some expected the market to fall even more. Talk of 2% rates was the norm. But alas, that did not happen. Buyers came in, scooped up what appeared to be a list of bargains, and since then the markets have tried to test lower, falling by 3% both in May and July, before buyers came in and rescued everyone, right? The latest pullback in September saw the S&P retreat by 6%, causing many to think, myself included, geez, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the pullback we've been waiting for. And then the buy the dippers come in and save the day, taking the S&P back to its all-time highs. And now we are about to say goodbye to the seasonally weak time of year, September and October, and enter the seasonally stronger end of year. And so it goes. By the end of the day, the Dow advanced by 0.4%, the S&P up 0.4, the Nasdaq ended flat, the Russell up 0.6%, and the transports, they rallied by 1 full percentage point. This as oil continues to surprise as well, holding tight right around the $83 barrel as demand is strong. Notice the transports, and supplies are tight. OPEC Plus doing very little to ease the pain for global consumers. U.S. crude stockpiles falling by 430,000 barrels versus the expected increase of 1.9 million barrels. Now that's a swing. Gasoline stockpiles also fell by 5.4 million barrels, and stockpiles at Cushing, Oklahoma hub are back to levels seen in 2018. Yet, wasn't the Delta variant supposed to kill all this demand? Weren't the talking heads telling us in August that oil would plunge again? In fact, I think it was Goldman Sachs that warned of falling prices, and then when they loaded up, they suddenly switched sides and warned of rising demand that would push prices to $100 a barrel by year end. And now that some are trying to create more ranks by calling for $200 a barrel by this time next year. In any event, oil is trading at $83 this morning as India, China, Europe, and the U.S. all ask the Saudis to play nice in the sandbox and pump more oil, to which they say no. Tesla reported after the bell last night, broke all records, beating on every single line, but the stock fell, which makes some sense, right? Think about it. Investors have taken the stock up 43% since July. It was priced to perfection. What did you expect? This morning it's quoted down $8, which by the way is nothing. It's an $850 stock, so $8 is exactly 0.009% lower, so stop the drama. And the beauty pageant continues. Alaska Air, Dow, American Air, AT&T, Danaher already reported this morning, and yup, they all beat the estimates. There's another 15 reports due out during the day today, and don't worry about it. No problem. Earnings are great. Eco-data today includes initial jobless claims of 297,000. That's a great number. Continuing claims of 2.5 million. Another good number. Philly Fed of 25. Leading economic indexes of 0.4%. Existing home sales are due to be up 3.6% month over month. Remember, yesterday, mortgage apps fell by 6.3%. This morning, U.S. futures are just a bit lower, but please don't panic. What would you expect? Investors and traders and analysts have taken the market back to the all-time highs, rallying 6% in as many days. At 6:30 a.m., Dow futures are down 100 points, S&Ps are down 10, NASDAQ down 20, and the Russell down 9. Drama in D.C. continues. The Dems cannot get it together. Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin holding tight to their values. What was a $3.5 trillion package is now anywhere between 1 and 2, and the left wing of the party is not happy. And increased corporate tax rates, that's under attack now as well. Kyrsten is digging her feet in, and that's driving Nancy and Chucky into a frenzy. Yesterday, we heard that a Reuters poll of economists now expect no rate increases until 2023, which is very different than what the market is expecting. And if you want my opinion, it's just another way for the Fed to keep control of the narrative. They get a poll to be released conveniently ahead of the Fed meeting. The results are counter to everything that the market is expecting. They make sure that everybody knows this. Investors breathe a sigh of relief and go all in. In the end, the message is that the idea that a rate rise coming by summer of 2022 is a false narrative. Oh boy, just wait. European markets are all lower by about 0.5% this morning. This follows a mixed performance in Asia. News that Evergrande's deal to sell 50% of their property services to Hobson fell apart is causing renewed concerns for bondholders, right? Mostly Asian bondholders, maybe some Europeans in there as well. Other than that, there's no economic news to drive the market. So the focus is once again squarely on earnings. Bitcoin, trading it's above 66,000, and Ethereum just kissed 4,300 as the excitement over the latest Bitcoin ETF continues to draw in investors, suggesting that demand for this asset class is alive and well. The S&P ended the day at 4536, just a hair below its all-time closing high. Earnings continue to surprise and the eco data remains in line. Treasury yields are creeping up. Inflation fears appear to be overblown. Oil demand is strong. Bitcoin is now closer to 70,000 and 60,000, and there are only 65 days until Christmas. There isn't any new variant of COVID to infect the world, and it feels like investors are very comfortable. Remember, we still have the Fed meeting on November 2nd and 3rd. That's only a week and a half away, where it is now expected that Jane's going to announce the start of tapering as soon as potentially mid-November. So whether it's November or December, it doesn't make a difference anymore. It's coming. The trend line suggests that we won't hit resistance on the S&P until we hit 4,700, which is 3.6% higher from where it closed last night. Support is now at 4,400, and Fundstrat's Tommy Lee, who's been great on the market, is now calling for S&P 4,800 by year end, which is up 6% from here. And that would leave the S&P up nearly 27% for 2021. Remember, you can text the word invest to 21,000 on your cell phone to get my digital business card. Feel free to download it, send me off an email, a text message, call me. I'm always happy to engage. Talk about markets, planning, thoughts, concerns, ideas, whatever's on your mind. You know, you can also follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Kenny Polkar is my handle, and on Instagram, KennyP1961. So what are we having for dinner tonight? So this is a minestrone. It's so good, right? It fills you up. It feels warm in your belly. But this is not your mother's minestrone. This is like a minestrone with a vellutata pitch to it, right? Now, a vellutata is basically a cream sauce, right? A hearty, delicious vegetable broth bathed in a cream sauce. It's easy to make, and it is so delicious to eat. So look, we're going to make minestrone. So for this, you need the usuals, right? You need olive oil, you need chopped shallots, diced and peeled butternut squash, 1 medium zucchini diced, you need celery, carrots diced, you need potatoes peeled and diced, salt and pepper, chichi beans, or if you prefer cannelloni beans, one or the other. You need chicken broth, all-purpose flour, butter, whole milk, and to top it all off, you need a baguette cut into rounds that we've lightly buttered and toasted. But that's at the end. In a large saucepan now, right, you're going to make the soup. So you want to heat up the olive oil over medium-high heat. You want to add the shallots, the squash, the zucchini, the celery, carrots, potatoes, and salt and pepper. You want to cook for, 3 to 4 minutes. Just get it all kind of coated. Now add 2 cups of the broth, bring it to a simmer, and cook the vegetables until they're tender, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Now add in the can of beans, whichever beans you want, juice and all. Now in another small saucepan on the side, add 1 cup of whole milk, whisk together the flour and room temperature butter, maybe 3 tablespoons of flour to a half a stick of butter. Then add 3 more cups of milk, 1 cup of broth. Place on medium heat and stir. Bring it to a simmer and then remove it. Now you're going to take this milk mixture and add it to the vegetables. Bring it all to a simmer and cook, stirring occasionally. You want the ingredients to blend. You want to taste it, adjust it. Boom! You're ready to go. Now you're going to serve the soup in warm bowls, and you're going to top it with one of those toasted rounds of bread, right? You can have grated cheese on the side if you wish. You know me. I can never have enough fresh grated cheese, especially in soups. I think they're delicious, but that's your call. One way or the other, look at this. There's no humidity outside because you can actually see out through the window. The weather down here in Florida has now changed to that beautiful winter weather, right? The days are gorgeous. There is no humidity, 75 to 80 degrees. It's nice outside. It's going to be another beautiful day. In any event, the morning's just started. The sun is rising over the Atlantic. Everybody get ready for another trading day. Until tomorrow, take good care.